Hi, myRockworld fans. Tonight we have a special interview with Jeremy Weiderman, who is the guitar player and also composer of the songs, hopefully.
Some of it, yeah. We do it as a team.
Of the new great band. It's not a new band, but it's a great band. It's Monster Truck. And they are playing tonight in Munich. And they are playing a sold-out show tonight. So let's start with the first question. But first, welcome in Munich on a sunny day.
Oh, thank you very much. This is actually feels like the first day of spring, getting to escape from the cold Canadian winter, and having this beautiful day is perfect.
And it's perfect because he's wearing a T-shirt. We all are wearing T-shirts, and it's hot in Munich, which is good. So, please tell us something about the new second album, Sittin' Heavy. And what is so different to the first album, Curiosity, from 2013?
One of the main things is that we didn't record it twice. We ended up recording Curiosity twice because the first one didn't turn out the way we wanted it to, so we had to do it again. Sittin' Heavy, we were lucky enough we only did it one time. And we really just wanted to focus in on doing a lot of what worked on Curiosity and just kind of expanding on it a little bit. We didn't want to jump too far ahead, and we didn't want to alienate the fans that we had already gained from Curiosity by changing the sound completely or anything like that. So it was really about keeping it the same and then having a couple more songs on the album that are a little different than everything that we've done before, but kind of walking that line of doing both.
And what is the process when you go to the studio? You compose the songs, do the demos, and then you record them, or is it more like you go into the studio, do a little jam session, and then you develop the music?
We do both of those things.
Oh, really?
We do about half the record we write before, and we play it. We were playing it on the tour.
You test it?
Yeah. We play it live, and we try the songs out. And then the other half of the album, we're writing kind of in pre-production. We're like working on the songs, and we're demoing, and we're reworking the songs. And even up until the end of the recording process, we had about 2/3 of the album recorded, and then we were still writing more songs and doing more sessions and adding to the record, which is kind of a fun way to do it because you have kind of half the picture painted already of what you're trying to do.
That's right,
so now you're adding songs onto that, which gives you kind of a better idea of what might be missing from the album, or a different idea that you wanted to kind of take an old idea and make it different and add it.
Because the cool thing on this album is it sounds very fresh. It sounds very. I don't know if you have used a click track or something, but it's just like you play live, but it was not live recorded.
Yeah, we were trying to do a bit more of that. It's something I still don't think that we've really achieved as much as we want to. We definitely attempted to make it sound more like the live show, and I think we did a pretty good job. But there's still, I'm glad that we still have places to go. We still have a way to make that better.
Yeah.
And it'll be something that we kind of keep in mind when doing the next album.
Very good. Do you have your own personal favorite song on the album, and why?
My personal favorite is New Soul. I had that riff kicking around for years, and in the beginning of the sessions, we tried to make that song work, and it didn't. And near the end of the session, it looked like it wasn't going to be on the album, which I was upset about because I liked that riff. I had that riff for 3 years, and then we took like one afternoon. Me and John sat down and we tried a completely different take on it. We took the riff, but we changed everything else underneath it.
Also the tempo?
No, there's just like the root chord changes underneath the riff.
Understand?
Yeah, we did what we don't normally do, which is we normally just play a riff and everyone plays the riff and it's just really basic.
Sure, yeah.
And instead we kind of just decided to have the bass and the organ do a bunch of different stuff underneath it, and it made it interesting and new again. And it kind of, instead of the same riff that people had been listening to for 3 years, it now seemed like a totally new thing. And we were able to put the song together in about a day. Cool. And take it from something that was almost kicked off the album to being what is now one of my favorite songs. And I know a lot of other people like that song a lot too. Not really a typical single, but a great album track, great for live too.
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
John, your album is also available as vinyl, and there's a huge comeback of vinyl these days. Where do you see this format in opposite to CD releases or downloads in future?
I don't know. I'm not a huge vinyl fan. I like it. I like it as a format, but the reason I like it is not the same as everyone else. I like it for the artwork. I like it for the aesthetic. I like the way you get to see a full-size album cover, and we do all our own design for the artwork. So when we're sitting down to work on an album cover and all the stuff that comes in with it, we always design it for vinyl because we think that's such a cool way to be able to, if you see the collage on the inside and you get to see all the detail of the jacket and the patches on the back and everything. So whenever we're conceptualizing the album artwork, we're always thinking in that big, format, 12 by 12. And so that's my favorite part about vinyl. I whether or not it's going to continue to surge or people are going to continue to buy it, I don't know. But I like having it as an option just for that component of, because I just remember looking through my dad's old records and looking through like the Led Zeppelin 3 artwork with the spinning disc, and I used to love that. I used to really love that, and I like when there's album artwork that you can look at 100 times and then find some new things in it that you didn't see before.
This is the way a vinyl functions. And the other thing I think is very necessary, if you do a music for a vinyl, you have to limit it possibility. Otherwise you do 3 records.
Well,
and this thing is, I like this kind of thing because normally everybody just can do maybe 8 to 10, 12 songs, but not 20 to fill a CD,
Well, that was where this record we kind of cut it down even smaller, but we still had to do a double vinyl to be able to fit all of the songs at the highest fidelity.
Yeah.
So that was kind of where we cheated because we had said that we wanted to do a record that was just one LP, but we ended up doing 11 songs, and it was just a bit too long to be able to fit it on one LP. We had to
do it on 2 vinyls.
Yeah, we would have had to lower the quality on it, so we didn't want to do that. So we did the double, and then we did the etching on side D, which is kind of neat. But yeah, I know what you mean, and we definitely kept that in mind when we were coming up, because there's a lot of B-sides from Sittin' Heavy that haven't been released yet, and we had to be very particular about which songs were going to go on the album, which songs weren't, because of that.
What do you think about music nowadays? So everybody knows the business has changed totally. So what is your way to survive and have fun also with the business?
That's what I do. I have fun. I try not to think about it, really. It's going to do what it's going to do regardless of what I have to say about it. We've had a lot of success just due to the fact that we didn't pay attention to what was going on. We just kind of just did what we wanted to do.
Maybe then it's authentic.
Yeah, well, the band was started to just be for fun. I was going to just be a bar band in our hometown that we play once a month, maybe, just in our hometown.
Okay.
And so because we started from that idea of just having it be a bar band for free booze,
which is cool,
and just to be for fun, I think that kind of made us exempt from all the typical rules, and I think because we didn't care. We didn't want to be on a record label. We didn't want to go on tour.
Really?
Yeah. And so when the band started doing well, we had to kind of like sit down and talk about whether or not we wanted to like do that.
This is a life decision.
Yeah.
Because it changes your life completely.
Yeah. This band was started so that I could stop touring and stop taking it seriously, because I was exhausted with trying to work with a record label and management and doing all the press, but what I didn't realize is that I just really didn't like the band I was in. And so once I started being in a band that I was in love with, all that other stuff worked out a lot easier because we weren't constantly trying to go after it. It was coming to us.
Yes.
We didn't have to work as hard. We just had to concentrate on making songs that we liked, and then a lot of the stuff that was hard before now was easy. Getting people to the shows wasn't hard. Getting a record label wasn't hard. Picking our first tour was even kind of easy because it was very obvious when we had finally made that transition to being able to be on the road and not have it be a liability where we're putting our own money into it and losing and going into debt. So just having that maturity and that experience from all those failed efforts before, plus the fact that we weren't taking it super seriously, so we weren't getting too emotional or too involved with it, and we took it really smart, and we did it really deliberately and patiently, and it's been something that has served us very well and allowed us to not be as concerned about how tough and how big of a struggle the music industry is, because as long as we concentrate on what we like, then everything else kind of tends to fall in line.
Always a question we like, because it's about the roots of music. What are your heroes that make you start to play music?
I mean, the first thing that really got me excited about music was like Beach Boys and Buddy Holly. Really? And like the Everly Brothers.
You look a little bit younger than me.
Well, my father brought me up on all that music.
Cool, yeah, that's
so
cool.
I was listening to a ton of that. And then that was when I was like 5 and 6 years old. I was listening to the Beach Boys every day. And then once I got older, I started getting into all his classic rock records. So I'm listening to Led Zeppelin and Deep Purple and Pink Floyd and Black Sabbath. And then I kind of went off on my own. After that, you get to be a teenager and you want your own identity. And so that was when I started listening to a lot of punk rock music and grunge and Nirvana and Pearl Jam and Soundgarden, and then getting into Rage Against the Machine and all the Southern California punk rock like NoFX and stuff like that. And then after I kind of got bored with that in my 20s, I went back to the classic rock. So that's kind of how it's gone all the way around and back again. So now I'm constantly just listening to the records I listened to when I was a teenager.
But is there a favorite guitar player or somebody who really had a main influence?
Yep, Mark Farner from Grand Funk Railroad.
This is cool.
Yeah.
Because Grand Funk, I saw them live.
Yeah.
That was the purest energy ever a trio had.
Yep.
Nobody can believe that, because
they
they were
can't.
not just loud.
No, they were groovy.
Intense.
Well, the thing that happened was
As
that
trio.
they were, and they did that for between '69 and 1972.
Yeah.
And they were the best power trio in the history of rock and roll at that time.
I think so.
And then their manager was embezzling all the money, and they stole all their money. And so they had to get rid of him, and they didn't make music or play music for a year or two while they fought in court trying to get rid of this fucking manager. And when they finally got that all settled with, they didn't really own the rights to any of those songs that we love. And they had to come up with a whole new identity, and they kind of just changed their vibe a little bit. It's still a great band, but they lost that like fury that they had.
That's right.
And so I just really love listening to those old records, the live records from '71 and Closer to Home and the Red Album and stuff like that, because that's where I got a lot of my influence from.
I love the Blue Ribbons Funk album, because it's just a great idea to have a silver dollar in your hands. Cool. Mark Farner is your hero. That is cool.
Yeah.
What are you doing as hobby or as a passion beside music?
I hate to say it, I play a lot of video games at home. I like to just stay home, play video games, and cook. I like to cook a lot.
Okay.
So I've been learning how to do different kind of Asian recipes that are like a little tougher, and just getting into like being at home and that's it. Like I watch hockey, I play
So
video
once
games.
the truck goes uncharted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I go off the grid a little bit and take some time to myself.
Tell us a funny or a funny secret or anything about Monster Truck that nobody knows. Maybe a funny turbo secret or something.
Let me think about that.
Nobody wears a wig.
What?
Nobody wears a wig.
No, nobody wears a wig. I'm trying to think of something that's funny.
It has not to be funny. Maybe it's so secret that nobody knows it.
Yeah, I don't know if we're kind of boring that way.
The band is boring, but the guitar player is cool because he plays video games and cooks. I think that is a big secret.
Yeah, I don't know. No, I don't know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
That's no problem.
Yeah, I can't think of anything right
No
now.
problem.
Yeah, sorry.
So we wait for next year's interview?
Yeah, maybe you have some secrets.
I have a secret. The guys play next, because they play tonight in a sold-out show here at the Strom Club, which is very famous. And did you know that the Strom, in the early days of the rock music, was very famous because all the guys from Rolling Stones, everybody was here.
Oh yeah.
So just for info.
That's good. I think this is their second time, and this is their second time playing here. So I hope it's just as good as last time.
But the secret for the fans is these guys, which have a sold-out show tonight, they will come back soon, and they will play with Nickelback in the Olympia Hall, which is the biggest hall in Munich.
Yes.
Okay, we have our secret.
Awesome.
Jeremy, please, some last words to the fans, please.
Just that we love Germany. I think a lot of people go around and say, "Oh, I love California. I love New York. I love it." And you always say you love it wherever you are. You love it. But we truly, truly, truly love Germany. And it was one of the first places, other than Canada, where we had real support and we had really a lot of love and we're able to come and do shows here. And so that's always a big deal for us because, being able to come to another country where they speak a different language and it's a completely different culture, and having the people embrace us like we are embraced in Canada, that was just that gave us the confidence and the support to know that we could go
everywhere.
It was just to know it was going to work. It was going to be okay, because you can't tour Canada all year. There's only 10, 11, 12 cities you can go. So all of a sudden we look and we go, we can come to Germany. And so now we just want to come all the time, and we just all our friends in Billy Talent, they always told us, you got to go to Germany, you got to go to Germany, you're going to love Germany, they're going to love you, it's going to be great. And they were right.
But the fans in Germany are very loyal if they like a band, you know. This is, I think this is one of the good things in Germany. And they know about music, they want to hear music, not just sit in there and drinking beer all day.
I know.
It's a difference.
And that's it. We love Germany, we love our German fans, and we'll be coming back as much as we can.
Very good. Thank you for the interview. Have a great show tonight.
Thank you very much, guys.